Hi everyone, Solar J here. Today I want to talk about stereo and show you 3 different ways to make your hi-hat patterns wide and nice on your analog rhythm to leave space for your fat, kick and snare. Don't forget to put your headphones on or this video will not make much sense. Let's go! But what do we mean by stereo? So in music we perceive something as stereo when there is a difference between the left and the right channel. On the other hand, something is mono when the right and left channel are exactly the same. Or in other words, we only have one channel. Let's open up the utility and put it on the master. Oh, I already had one. To see how this works in practice. The microphone I'm speaking through right now is a mono source, and Ableton duplicates it when pushing it to the stereo output I set up. So if I press the mono button, which basically sums up the left and the right channel, that's all this button does, you don't hear any difference. So it's exactly the same if I press it or not. But check what happens when I add this pre-recorded piece of audio, pan it to the left, pan my speaking voice to the right. And now when it comes, you see that one is coming from the right, the recorded one, and the one speaking right now is coming to the left, from the left. And if I put mono, you hear them both coming from the center. And there's a huge difference if I toggle or untoggle it. Now they're summed up, both coming from the center. Now one is coming from the left and one is coming from the right. So this was a stupid and basic example, on purpose exaggerated to give you an understanding of what we mean by stereo. But how do we use it in real life for our production? How do we make, for instance, our hi-hat loop wide on the rhythm to obtain a musical stereo effect? Let's move on the rhythm and find out. So we said that we perceive stereo when the left and right channel are different. So what I did, I duplicated a hi-hat loop and panned one copy completely on the left and one copy completely on the right. Since they are identical at the moment, you only hear them coming from the center, but as you can see, one is spun in the left, right, and the other is spun to the left. When we play the pattern, we don't hear any different because it's just the same exact copy. But let's now add some difference between the left and the right channel duplicates. We're going to see 3 ways of doing it. First way, let's for instance modulate the fine tune of the sample that generates this sound. This sound, both on the left and the right, they do not have any synth, it's only samples. So we can go in the LFO section, select fine tune for instance, put it to 10 for one track, and do the same in the negative direction for the other track, maybe with a different speed. So now the 2 channels are different, and let's see if we hear some stereo. Oh, nice, it's stereo. And if we compare it with the mono version, you can really feel that now everything is in the center, and here there is stereo width. So we slightly change the timbre of the left and the right channel, but being the sound source being the same, and we got this nice width. So that's it? Is that simple? Actually, no. There is a catch for this particular method that allows me to introduce the concept of mono compatibility. If we press the mono button on the utility on Ableton, check what happens. Now I'm pressing it, 1, 2, 3. What is that? You got some decrease in volume and also this unwanted chorus kind of effect. When this happens, when you sum the left and the right channel and you get a weird sound, very different from the stereo sound, this means that that particular piece of audio is not mono-compatible. This happens because of phase cancellation mainly, but I'm not going to cover this for time reason. If you're interested, check out some other tutorials on the topic. So beware that not all the methods to add width to your tracks are mono-compatible. And it's quite important for your track to be mono-compatible in order to sound well everywhere, from the club to the smartphone. Let's see now a safe method that would not ruin our track in mono. We still want to add subtle differences between the left and the right channel, right? That's how you achieve width. But let's not mess up with the pitch and the frequency of the sound. Let's instead modulate the amplitude. We do it still via the LFO and still with slightly different values. So we go to the sample level. We modulate it with this frequency. And this other guy, we take the sample level again, modulating the other way with a different frequency. Let's see what we got. You can see that it's quite wide. You can experiment with different waveform maybe. You know, some might work better than others. And most importantly, if now I press the mono button, 1, 2, 3, mono, you hear that now it's mono, but the sound doesn't change. When you sum them together, you get like something in center, but not weird effects. Now I remove the mono, back in width. Let's now move to the third method, which is my favorite way of adding width to heads. And it's achieved by filtering the left and the right channel slightly different, as it adds some kind of real drum feeling. So let's take the first channel and let's record some filter automation, like with a high pass in this case. Now we go to the other one and we still record filtering automation, but with a high pass now, the low passer. And you can hear that it's very wide. And if I put it in mono, 1, 2, 3, mono, the sound stays pretty similar to the original, so quite mono compatible. This brings me to the end of this video, where I showed you 3 different ways to obtain width on your hi-hat. Of course, there are many other different ways to obtain that. By the way, the house effect is not mono compatible, but I hope you understood the way this method works, so you can experiment with it on your own. If you do, or if you already did, and you found some cool tricks, add widths to the heads or other sound on the rhythm, let us know in the comment. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like before you go. See you next time.